on the road.
Hi, I'm Doc Jenny. Join us in the Green Hornet as we travel the back roads of beautiful North Idaho. Every day is different, challenging, and never boring as we see all the farm animals, big and small. Hey, you're on the road with Dr. Jenny, and today we're talking about blanketing. Blanketing is a very touchy subject among horse owners, and it's one that people feel very passionate about on both sides of the fence. There's a lot of information out there on the internet if you start to take a look, and the debate about to blanket or not to blanket is very heated. Haha, heated. Great pun. Blanketing is one of those things that not every horse needs a blanket for sure. Our winter months last a long time, so we get a pretty good winter here. Most of the horses that live here year-round are pretty well acclimated to our weather, but drastic changes in temperature with more than a 40-degree swing between daytime temps and evening temps can be hard on the horses. And I can always tell when we're going to have a lot of colics in the practice because I can look at the weather and see when those temperature swings are starting, then I know that we're going to be pretty busy on our on-call times. The reason for this is there's a couple different things, but the most common one for those wide temperature swings is that the horses get chilled and then they don't drink enough water. In those cases, sometimes putting a blanket on them can help to increase their water consumption as well because they feel a little bit warmer. So that'll help to keep them warm and to help them with mitigate that temperature swing. Some of the common myths about putting a blanket on a horse include that if you blanket a horse once, then you're going to have to blanket them all year, and that is not the case. I take my blankets on and off depending on the weather. I do allow my horses to develop what is considered a normal winter coat, and they could be blanketed with that coat on and not damage the hair growth. So blanketing a horse does not mean that you're going to prevent them from putting on a hair coat. The growth of the hair is attributed as much to the temperature as it is to the day length, and so as our days get shorter, the horses start putting on more hair regardless of the temps. The temperatures do fluctuate and cause the horses to piloerection, which means that the hair is standing on end, and that's what actually traps the air within the hair coat and allows the horse to keep warm. If you put a blanket on a horse, it provides another layer of air to be trapped and warmed by their body, just like when you put on a big fluffy down coat. If that is taken off, then the horses will get chilled and then their hair will stand up and then they will naturally trap that air in there. So anything that impairs the horse's ability for piloerection is going to interfere with their ability to keep warm. So cold, wet rain that soaks the hair coat can impair a horse's ability to get warm. Really windy temperatures where the air is blown away from the horse will impede their ability to stay warm. So all of those things can contribute to the decision to put a blanket on to help a horse deal with those kinds of temperatures and those kinds of weather conditions. I also recommend blanketing horses that are immunocompromised, are of a non-ideal body condition score. Anything less than a 5, those horses have a much harder time maintaining their body weight. Or if you have a horse that for whatever reason has not developed much of a hair coat, those horses may need a blanket as well. If you blanket a horse once, you are not going to impair their ability to develop either a hair coat or to keep themselves warm or to adjust to the environment. So we will recommend blanketing in cases where the weather is extreme or the swing in temperature is more than 40 degrees. If you have a blanket on your horse, you want to be careful to always monitor the horse underneath the blanket. I recommend taking the blanket off if the horse is blanketed 24 hours a day. I recommend taking the blanket off every couple of days to make sure you're not developing any wet spots, any rub sores, or any rain rot, which is common under a blanket, which is a bacterial infection that will happen usually on the top line of the horse where they trap moisture in there. It's also very important to ensure that the blanket is the proper size so that the horse neither gets tangled in the blanket if they lay down or it's so small that it's causing pressure points on the horse. So proper sizing is really important as well. I consider a winter blanket to be part of the necessary equipment in responsibly raising a horse, you want to be prepared for any weather extremes or for any illnesses in the horse as well. So even though I don't recommend for most horses consistent blanketing throughout the winter months, I sure don't think that a blanket is evil or harmful to a horse. So it definitely is on a case-by-case basis. It changes with the weather conditions, and a blanket is an incredibly important tool to have in your tack room to help your horse out. So that's the common sense approach to blanketing, and you are on the road with Dr. Jenni in the Green Hornet. Be sure and tune in for more information on keeping your horse healthy and happy in the winter months. Hey everybody, thanks for riding with us in the Green Hornet today. This is Doc Jenni signing out. If you like what you saw, be sure and follow us in the Green Hornet with Tormund, out on the road with Doc Jenni. Just click the link below and follow us along on our journeys. See you later.